So we continue with the debate of the amendment bill. Honorable Yaqub.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I am Honorable Yaqub, member representing the Kale Ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, what is before us is building bridges initiatives amendment bill, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, as said by member representing Good Teacher Ward that there are rumors that Mandera County is delaying this BBI. Mr. Speaker, it is not true. As said, as I continue contributing to the BBI amendment, Mr. Speaker, is that this is the House of Rules and the House of Procedures, Mr. Speaker, and is that, Mr. Speaker, public participation must be done, Mr. Speaker, sir. Lest we be taken to court by activists, Mr. Speaker, because some of the counties has gone ahead to take the BBI and discuss and pass it without taking it to public participation, Mr. Speaker, sir. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, before I continue contributing, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have issues with the observation which is made by the Honorable Committee for Legal Affairs, Mr. Speaker, sir. Clause number 2 in the observation in which they say that there is a clan constituency dominancy, the BBI will abolish. Mr. Speaker, it is not true. Mr. Speaker, it is not the fact. And Mr. Speaker, I think it is erroneously put there because the language used is not legislatively friendly, Mr. Speaker, sir. So there is nothing like clan constituency dominancy in the first place in Mandera County. It's just a point of correction, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, going forward, I stand to support the BBI amendment bill, Mr. Speaker, sir. And simply why I support, Mr. Speaker, sir, and let me start by saying that anybody who opposes this BBI is an enemy of Mandera County, Mr. Speaker, sir. The reason is this, Mr. Speaker, sir. Out of the northern counties, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is only Mandera County which has benefited from this BBI, Mr. Speaker, sir. We have got one constituency, Mr. Speaker, sir. You know very much aware that the chairman of the BBI, the Building Bridges Initiative, Allah Rahma, is Honorable late Yusuf Haji. Yeah, he prepared the BBI, he prepared the amendment bill. At the end of it all, he has never, his constituency, his county has never benefited from BBI, Mr. Speaker, sir. And that we must thank God that the only constituency in northern Kenya went to Mandera County. And when we are here now, or maybe, I'm not aware of anybody who is opposing, trying to talk about, people opposing, like in public participation, that BBI is not good for us, it's not true, and that I think we must thank Allah. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, why we must support BBI is that, Mr. Speaker, raising or pushing our revenue allocation from 15% to 35% shareable revenue allocation to Mandera County can do a lot, Mr. Speaker, sir. From the inception of 2013, Mr. Speaker, sir, you are very much aware the changes which has taken place in Mandera County. The number of paved roads with 15%. We even have, like in Mandera town, it is completely environmentally and even economically, it has changed, Mr. Speaker, because of the 15% devolved fund, Mr. Speaker. The moment we take to 35, then we will benefit a lot. The only problem we have is that our leaders in the National Assembly are not working like we are working in the devolved units, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, like 85% of the national revenue is in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, sir. And our national leaders are not fighting a lot. They are not doing a lot. They are not making progress a lot to get us that 85% remaining in the national government, Mr. Speaker, sir. So by pushing the 15% to 35%, Mr. Speaker, means a lot to us. Mr. Speaker, sir, apart from the additional constituency, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have also a ward fund. Mr. Speaker, you know, it is only the members of the county assemblies who don't have a specific fund which is managed by political elites, Mr. Speaker, sir. You know very well the governor has his own funds which he can manage over 12, 13 billions or 50 billions shillings in 5 financial years. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members representing constituencies have millions of funds as a national government constituency development funds. Mr. Speaker, sir, national women representatives or women reps have such a funds. Senators, to some extent, have such funds. Mr. Speaker, sir, when members of the county assemblies have been granted now a ward fund, which they can manage in conjunction with the constituents, Mr. Speaker, to bring development, Mr. Speaker, why not support the BBI? We have to support the BBI because of ward development. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other issue is about gender. 2/3 gender rule, Mr. Speaker, is also solved.
You have 3 minutes to summarize.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will finish within the 3 minutes. On the issue of gender equality, Mr. Speaker, the political parties can just pick anybody from anywhere, any gender, specifically female gender, Mr. Speaker, without looking at the educational status, without looking at the experience, without looking at the age. And at the end of it all, Mr. Speaker, the political parties end up in, dumping individuals. I'm not abusing, Mr. Speaker, sir. People who cannot perform in the assemblies, Mr. Speaker, by making the 2/3 general rules and by making it a must that they should go for election, Mr. Speaker, sir, competitively, then I think the issue of 2/3 gender are solved. And those who can go to elections and look for votes and get the right votes will then be found in the assembly, but not those who are chosen by those who are in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, sir. The last one, Mr. Speaker, sir, since some of us want to go to higher offices like Senate, the Senate has been empowered now. Not all of us will be in this assembly in 2022. Some of us will push ourselves to parliamentary seats and will push ourselves ahead to the Senate, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Senates are now empowered, Mr. Speaker, sir. Initially, they'll only look at the revenue allocations and the shareable things, the amount of money the county will going to get. But then now, Mr. Speaker, in the new BBI amendment bill, the Senate have now powers to oversight the county government and even look at the locally collected revenue collections, Mr. Speaker, sir. The last one and not the least, Mr. Speaker, sir. We are tired of going and, pleading with the executive to take projects to our areas, Mr. Speaker, sir. In the BBI amendment bill, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is a guarantee that half of the CECs will come from members of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, take an example of Honorable Yaqub, who is a member of the county assembly for the Erkale ward, and who is also the CEC for water at the same time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, the perennial water shortages, water tankering, and all these things will be thing of the past, Mr. Speaker, sir. And with that, I stand to support, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.